Hello again, this is Doc Rotten with another edition of Groovy, Gory, Gruesome, Gold with the one and only Paul Cardullo. Paul, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing good. I am really excited to hear your review of the movie tonight. We are talking The Car. This is from 1977, starring James Brolin, Kathleen Lloyd, and a number of others, directed by Elliot Silverstein. This happens to be one of my favorite films. We did it on Decades of Horror 1970s, but now it's your turn to give us your review. But first, tell us why we were reviewing this film at this time.
Well, you and I caught it at the retro film screening at the Carolina Theater of Durham. They have this great retro series. They have retro classics, retro comedies, but of course our favorite are the retro Phantasma series, which are horror, sci-fi, and fantasy films. And this was part of a double feature with another 1970s James Brolin film, Westworld. So it was really kind of a fun double feature, and that's why we saw this together. And there were two. It was a great evening.
It was. Now, I imagine this is this the first time you've seen this movie?
No, I've seen this before. I saw it on the small screen a number of times, but it's been quite a while since I've seen it. But the first time I've seen it on the big screen, and it actually had a really kind of a different impact, a better impact, I think, on the big screen than on the little one. So now the plot of it, it's named The Car, and it's about a demonic car that runs over and kills people. And James Brolin is a sheriff's deputy in a western town, southwestern town, and they have to basically battle this demonic car. Sounds a lot like Christine, but this came out well before Christine. It did come out after Killdozer, but that's another story.
Well, tell us what you think of The Car and how the big screen may have changed a scene or two for you.
So, I mean, The Car's not – I'm not going to say it's a great film, but it's sure is a fun film, and it is one of the best Jaws ripoffs ever. It's Jaws with a car is really a good portion of it in such a good way. And on the big screen, that really comes through. You feel almost like the car is a shark or some other, or a grizzly, as it were. You get this great – they use a lot of since it's in the Southwest, they have these great long shots where you see the car coming from the distance and you see this big plume of smoke behind it, the dirt and dust. And on the big screen, you get that feeling, and you get this feeling of this distance, but the small thing, and that it's coming at you. So it works actually really well. I mean, it's a cheesy kind of film, but in such a fun way. And it's this great cars designed by, I can't remember the name of the man who did it, but it's the same man who designed the Batmobile in the 1960s. So it's got this amazing, just kind of really menacing look to it. What's also kind of neat about the movie is they don't really bother to explain what's driving this demon car, why this came about. There's a mention at one point where a Native American woman says something about an evil wind coming, and that's it. And that's all you really need, because much like the shark in Jaws, you don't need to know where it came from. It's just this thing. It's a killing machine, and it's there to kill, and these people are there to battle it.
Yeah, well, the ending definitely wants to suggest something.
Oh, it does suggest something, but it's funny because one of their characters is like, no, it's gone. Don't. They try to ignore what that something is suggested. And it does open with a quote from Anton LaVey, who's the founder of the Church of Satan. So, there's a good feeling of what might be causing that car to come, but it doesn't go into any details, and no one did any rituals or anything to bring it about. It was there.
Yeah, and the car was customized by George Barris.
There you go.
Yes.
And it's just a beautiful design in terms of the menace of this thing. It's just this big black, very low slung killing machine. It's fun, and it's got this the horn. I mean, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the horn. It uses, apparently it's the Morse code for X, but it's like and it has this very distinctive sound, so much so that it's actually used in one of the best scenes. We'll get to that, but it's it's very distinctive, and it's pretty cool.
All right, well, let's stop right there and give me your score, 1 to 5, and let's jump into that favorite scene.
Okay, so I can't really give it like a really high score for it being a great film because it is cheesy, but it's really fun. I mean, I give it a solid 3.5. That might be a little high for some people for the quality of film it is, but it's a little low for how much fun it is. So it fits right in the middle, right? 3.5. My favorite scene. I was leaning towards this one scene, it's like the scene that always sticks out in my mind, where you have this one character who they think they're safe in the house and they're talking on phone to another character, and through the window you see in the distance the light of the car. And she's like, I can hear the horn come, and boom, the car comes smashing through the house, inside one, out the other. But that's not my favorite scene. My favorite scene is actually one that's closest to a Jaws scene. You have a marching band practicing on the dusty field at their school. And again, you see in the distance, you know it's coming, and you see in the distance just the flash of a headlight, and then you see the dust coming, and somebody looks up and they see it, and they're like, run! And actually I leaned over to you, Doc, and I said, everybody out of the water, it's a shark! And it very much seems like a scene from Jaws. They're running along, and you see just over the hill, you see the top of the car circling the field, as it were, and it looks almost like a shark fin circling them. And they're running, and you don't know when it's going to burst through. And that it works so well, and it's such an analog to what happens in Jaws, but in a wonderful way, and it works so well. That's really kind of my favorite scene, replacing the flying through the house scene.
No.
But it's just barely. But definitely see this film. If you can see this on the big screen, it works so much. It works so much better on the big screen. When I saw it on the small screen, it's fun, cheesy film. On the big screen, it's a fun, cheesy film, but a fun, real great Jaws with a car film on the big screen.
Oh yeah, I caught this on the big screen way back in 1977. 2 weeks after Star Wars came out. So you can tell just how poorly this film did. All right. Well, I want to thank you for another great review. Let's say goodnight.
Good night, Doc.
Be sure to visit GruesomeMagazine.com to listen to the other Gruesome podcasts, Hard News Radio, and Decades of Horror. Also, check out the Gruesome Magazine Quarterly, available in digital and print-on-demand format. Gruesome Magazine.